There is nothing like sustainable fishing by industrial gear. There is already an extinction going on. In the last 10, 15 years, the situation has not much changed with regard to industrial fishing, because we still consider it to be a legitimate procedure to rake the bottom of the sea with trawls. In the Netherlands and in other countries, this is the major way that fishing is done. And this raking of the sea bottom prevents the maintenance of the communities that exist there of bottom animals, prevent the sedimentation and locking of organic carbon in the sea. It prevents the growth of long-lived animals on the sea floor, and essentially it modifies the habitat. All kinds of organisms provide structure to the ground, which then the fish can utilize to hide when they're young and to limit the exposure to currents. The result of this is that the fish that we exploit that are a bit higher in the water column diminish because the young do not find these possibilities for hiding and feeding themselves and so on. So the trawling modifies the ecosystem. You cannot, even if you have a situation where the fishery is regulated in terms of mesh size and fishing mortality, fishing pressure, you cannot talk about sustainability, because sustainability involves being able to do something for a long time. A sustainability in a trawling situation, it involves modifying the habitat and turning it from a structured kind of reef-like habitat to a flat desert, a muddy desert. And therefore there is no sustainability, even if the fishery is regulated. In the North Sea, this leveling off and flattening has lasted for 150 years almost. And so lots of the structures that were there, bottom structures with lobsters and so on, are gone. This transition has happened and is happening everywhere. Marine protected areas are supposed to be created to allow such rebuilding of this ecosystem. But in European marine protected areas, trawling is allowed. So it's trawling in marine protected areas. It's completely insane. There is nothing like sustainable fishing by industrial gear, like trawls, for two reasons. One of them is that they modify the habitat. That's inherently unsustainable. It's like agriculture that modifies the soil, right? The other reason is that no animal can withstand industrial fishing pressure. Imagine a whale attacking a school of herring. Now, that whale will eat one or two gulps from that school, but the school will get away, and they will not be able to annihilate the school in one go. Pelagic trawl, for example, that in open waters, trawling in open water, they can engulf a whole school of 100,000 of herring in one go. That evolution doesn't know anything like that. Nothing equivalent exists in nature, perhaps volcanic explosion or something. There is no response possible by animals, and they go extinct. They go locally extinct. There is already an extinction going on. Sustainability is also a false concept. Presently, when people talk about sustainability, they have the present population in mind, but the present population are at depleted level. So sustainability is not the appropriate concept in the first place. The job would be to rebuild the population, not to sustain them at a low level.